So, firing anyone is difficult. There are three questions that I pose to my clients when they're considering firing an employee. And these might help you as you're thinking about maybe whether it's a terrorist or not. Three questions that I pose. The first question is, if that employee came into your office today with a letter of resignation, would you accept it? And if it's a terrorist, the answer is always, of course. Of course. If Fernando came into my office today with a letter of resignation, I would rip that out of his hands. Of course I would. That's the first question. And the answer is almost always yes. The second question is if that position were open today and that person was no longer working for you and applied for that position, would you take them back? Well, for the terrorist, of course, the answer is of course not. Why would I rehire a terrorist? Of course not. Third question, if you were forming an all-star team of employees in your company, if you were putting together an all-star team, would this person be on that all-star team? And if the answer is no, again, pretty easy answer in terms of should you let this person go? If they're not on your all-star team, why are you keeping them? Particularly if they're a terrorist. Particularly if they're a terrorist.
Question, Tim. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I have a lot of questions, but so I went through kind of that situation recently. And the thing is that I dragged that decision for months. One of the things that made me drag it for months was a feeling of it was my fault, that maybe I did something wrong that was causing it. So that made me drag it. Is there a way for us to really not put that blame on us or something?
Well, two things, Carlos. Very good question. You're right. As CEOs, as owners of companies, you are inherently a fixer. You're inherently a fixer. And because we fix problems, we solve problems all day long. And why can't we solve this problem? Why can't we fix Fernando? It shouldn't be that hard, right? A few visits to the office, maybe we send him to a shrink, whatever. Why can't we fix the terrorist? And yet, as we've already acknowledged, we can't fix the terrorist. We're not capable of that. We're just not. So one, it's an acknowledgement that we are inherently a fixer. And in some ways, that contributes to our success. At other times, it doesn't. And secondly, an acknowledgement that it's not our job to fix the terrorist. There are professionals for that. And we're not that professional. The third thing, and this is most overlooked, is the impact that terrorist is having within our organization. We tend to overlook the impact that he's having on our people, on the culture, maybe even on customers. We fail to realize the overall impact that person is having on our company.
I have a
Think
question.
about when I hire a new employee, if Helen is my new employee, today's her first day, who's dying to take Helen to lunch on her first day?
Terrorists.
Fernando is. He can't wait to get with Helen because he is recruiting all the time. So he takes Helen to lunch, and what does he tell her at lunch? What a miserable company this is. You've just joined a miserable company with miserable people, and let me tell you how this is going to work out for you. That's Fernando's opening remarks at lunch. Can we afford to have that?